Hey guys, it's Eric from Team Rec here. We have another deck profile. This is just another Tearlament variation, but it's what I'm playing right now since the beginning of the year. I've been doing pretty well with it. Pretty good ratio there of wins to losses. So really happy with the build, but obviously a lot's going to change when Photon Hypernova comes out. But yeah, let's just get into it. So for tiers, I play 2 Rhino Heart, 3 Sheeran, 3 Havness, and 2 Murley. Just sticking with the 2 Murley, just because I don't want to send it to the grave early. I would just rather have it to dump off Sprint. That's pretty standard from what I've seen anyway. I know you want to see your tier mills like pretty early, but that's just the one I probably would like to save for later. So nothing too crazy there. Kashtiras. So I'm playing a Kashtira tier deck. I've been trying this out, really loving it. This helps you go second and play into boards a bit better. Also, you run the spell, so that does kind of helps your mills in a way. Bringing back Fenrir's and Unicorns from the grave can be pretty crazy. And then you have rank 7 plays available, which I think is really clutch for this deck specifically. If you can Mind Hacker, rip Dweller, or even the opponent's like kit in the mirror match, because some people, they're not playing 2 yet until the new set. So I really like this engine. Also, Unicorn's a wind, so you can play it into a flu board. I don't know if it's like super impactful. It hasn't come up. But yeah, that's just something cool there. So that's it for the Kashtiras. I'm maxing out on all the Ishizus. So 3 of each Shuffler, 3 Kelback, 3 Agido. Just something I've been trying out. I really want to get the mills online really early, but I also just maximize the Ishizus to sort of make this a little bit more legitimate in the deck. I still think it's really powerful. I see a lot of builds not playing it, which is fair. It's really impactful in the mirror. And I guess it does help against Shifter. That's kind of how you can jump the gun on Shifter. But, you know, it's a one-of, so you're not going to see it too often. But I think it's worth the risk. And it being level 2, there is some, you know, situational synergy that can happen with Elf and Sprint. So it's decent. I like it. And if you do get it off with like a Guido or a Shuffler, that fills your graveyard with that as well. So I still think it's really good setup and interruption. And then to finish off the monsters, we play 1 Druis Worm. Since I'm playing the Kashtiras, I don't want to go too heavy on the Bestials in the main. I just like this for the search off Magnamut if I'm using Dark and taking the opponent's Magnamut that way. So it's just cool to have around, and having the 1 Bestial isn't too bad. You can do things with it, so thought I'd throw that in. On to spells, I play, let's just say 4 field spells. Pretty standard there. When you see this, pretty much locks in the game. There's just so much you can do with the field spell. Like popping your own stuff is clutch too, as well as the opponent's. Yeah, get out to floods and stuff like that. So not much to say there. 2 Scream, I might cut it to 1. Like, I don't think it's like too crazy for the deck. Obviously what it does is awesome, but I think I could get away with 1, so it's something I might try. But that's sort of the tier stuff we're playing for spells. And then I'm on 1 Birth. 1's perfect number. You just search it off of Unicorn. You can always shuffle it back if you need to. But this just enables a lot of stuff. If you're bricking on like Fenrir's and stuff, that can, you know, obviously you can normal that, which sort of can fix your hand. But this is really cracked when you can, excuse me, when you can revive from the grave. And then also it also has the effect to vanish from your opponent's grave, which can be decent. Doesn't come up like a whole lot, but when it does, I think it's really impactful against a lot of decks. I'm not playing talents right now. I'm playing 2 droplet. This would be TTT. I like it. It's a little more versatile. I find it's not as much of a brick, and I like it when, you know, I got to face stuff like Dweller. It's just a really fast card, and you can manipulate your board too. You can pitch from hand, like Shizu cards, of course. So I think that's really broken. So I like the 2 droplet. I'm also playing 2 super poly. This also helps me playing the boards really well, especially Sprite. That's always a tough board to break because they put up a lot of interruptions. So this kind of just, yeah, gets rid of it without any sort of input from the opponent. Obviously, they can't respond to it. Then I just got some broke one-ofs here. We got Foolish and Instant. Not much to say about these. You could probably get away with cutting Foolish, but, you know, for what it does, it's really good. Like, yeah, it can be like a bad mill, but I think it's worth keeping in. And something I'm debating on changing is 1-1. I'd rather play 2 Sulic sometimes, but I think it's worth the risk just to throw Crime in the main for winning die rolls. Obviously, it's pretty clutch. But mid-game, it can come up. I know, like, duels don't last as long, like, turn-wise. But, yeah, I still think it's pretty good to have in. And, of course, you can get your banished Tears back that way. That's it for the main. I believe that's 44, if I'm not mistaken. Onto the extra. I'm not playing Drago. We're just doing these 5. I probably might throw Drago in. Just taking out one of the links I play. But I'm pretty comfortable with this lineup. For links, I play Underworld, Goddess, Dark, IP, Elfin Sprint. So yeah, something I might change is probably make that a Drago and make that Ausa. You don't really need to use your links as much. This is just kind of based on my local meta. A lot of weird decks, so stuff like that comes in handy to just clear boards in an unconventional way. And IP, I still like IP. You know, making sprint on your opponent's turn is pretty cool. Get things started that way. But yeah, there's going to be some changes to be made when the new set drops. And I might even consider like cutting stuff just to have 2 Kit, 2 Zeus, like that sort of thing. Because that's going to matter. Because Kashtira is going to be insane. And no one's extra deck is safe. And on the note of Xyz monsters, we're just going to finish off with these 5 here. We got Zeus, Mind Hacker, Baguska, Dweller, and Gigantic Sprite. Gigantic Sprite's probably the weakest link in my extra deck. Not a link monster, but weakest point of my extra deck. It's just to do with my side, which I'll get into. I don't know if it's the best idea, but it's been working. I really like Mind Hacker. Like I said, sniping Dweller or the opponent's kit is really clutch. Even, yeah, sniping like a Zeus, because Zeus can be problematic against you. This is going to be really clutch against Kashtira. They're kind of weak to Zeus, or I would say really weak to Zeus. So that might get bumped up to 2. But yeah, there's a lot of things that are pretty fluid right now, just because of the new set coming out. Moving on. This is the side deck. We just got some extra Abyssals here. I don't have Magnamuts right now, but you would bet that they would be in instead of these. But this is just extra interruption against stuff like Tier. Red Resonator, enough said. I actually might swap this out for a Scatter Shot, which is a little more consistent for those nefarious purposes. Moving on. Let's play a little mini Sprite engine here. Excuse me, for going second. I think it's really beneficial in rogue matchups. I was faced with some monsters and like things I couldn't specifically target, and that niche of banishing non-targeting really helps in awkward matchups. Like I said, I run into a lot of rogue when I play locals, so I've been liking this. It does help you like push for game too, when you can make like a tier board and then throw down some sprites. It puts a lot of damage really quickly. So droplets and these are kind of interchangeable. Just have these in the side right now. Obviously really good going first card, really good going second too, but it does kind of get bricky, and good players play around this pretty easily. So it will be better when Kashtira kind of gains traction too. So more changes coming there. We got some back row removal. We're on 2 Twister and a Feather Duster there. I think that's pretty adequate for addressing back row. You could consider Cyclone as well, but I like the pitch off Twister. I think that's pretty broken when it does come up. Cyclone's good for hitting stuff like Selec, of course. So it's something I'm thinking about. And then just to round out the side deck, I'm playing these cards for going first. I don't like getting even lead. My deck's really weak to that. I have problems against flu sometimes, so that's why these are in there. Didn't see them the last time I played flu, but I think they can be pretty beneficial when they're, cards aren't being banished and they can't chain block and stuff. And I just have that to, snipe evenlies, and then this prevents evenly. So yeah, that's the rationale for those. And that's the deck. I tried to make this pretty brief, but we still ended up over 10 minutes here. Lots of changes to come for this deck, so expect more deck profiles soon when the new support drops. But that's all for now. Peace, guys.